Someone murdered the host at the gay retreat, and I think it's my ex. Be advised, this story contains bloodshed and murder. I almost stepped in the blood before I saw it. It was just there, smeared across the stone floor, deep, red, glossy, fresh. Not a lot of it, but enough to make my stomach lurch, like someone had been hurt, or wanted us to think they had. The door to Sebastian's office was wide open, and I could see that the room was in disarray. His crystal pyramid were knocked over, papers scattered, like a struggle had taken place. No sign of him. And Sebastian, our host/cult leader in linen, was gone. 20 minutes ago, he stood in front of all of us, in the meditation room, eyes wild, voice trembling. There is poison in this place, he said, and it's someone in this room. Then he stormed out, no shoes, no explanation, just robes swishing dramatically, and the door slammed that shook the room, and he never came back. I looked down the hallway, empty, silent. The air smells like sandalwood, and something else now, fear. Guys, I say, stepping back into the room. I think something's wrong. They look up, mid-guided breathing, blank stares. One guy munches on a Terminix snack ball, like I didn't just say what I said. Sebastian's missing. There's blood. Probably his. And his office is a mess. And the worst part, I think I already know who did it. Flashback. A week ago. I slouched in a chair, staring at the ceiling like it might drop an idea on my head. My last book was a disaster. The one before it, worse. And the one I was supposed to be writing had all the spark of a soggy napkin. Nothing was landing. Nothing felt right. Dr. Grace gave me a calm therapist look, like she could see through my sarcasm, to a sad little storm inside. Unfortunately, she wasn't wrong. Archie, she said gently, I think you need a break. Have you thought about a wellness retreat? I blinked at her. You mean one of those places where they make you chant at sunrise and eat soup made of twigs? She smiled. It's more about self-discovery, mindfulness. I snorted. I don't need to discover myself. I know exactly where I am. Sitting in this chair, still furious at my ex, and halfway convinced I'll never write anything good again. There it was. Truth. Out loud. The breakup was 6 months ago, and it still hit like a bus every morning. Since Luca left, I continued. I haven't written a single decent thing. I can't sleep. I keep replaying every fight, every dumb thing I said. And yeah, part of me wants to be mad at him forever. But the other part? I stopped, jaw clenched. The other part thinks I just blew it. Dr. Grace was quiet for a beat. Then, there's this place called Surrender. It's a gay wellness retreat. Peaceful, remote. Really beautiful. It might help. I raise an eyebrow. You think a fancy cabin in the woods is gonna fix the fact that I'm a walking heartbreak cliche with commitment issues? She smiled again. I think it's a place to reset. Clear your head. Let go of what's holding you back. I swear, if one person tries to tell me my writer's block caused by misaligned chakra, I'm out. No chakras, she promised. Just yoga, group therapy, maybe some journaling. I groaned. This is gonna suck. She leaned in. Or it might actually help. I gave her a look. As long as there's no naked meditation, I'll think about it. She laughed. Deal. 4 days later, I pull up to Surrender and immediately regret every life choice that led me here. It looks like a real estate's wet dream. Sleek glass walls, glowing white stone, and just the right amount of trees to scream international landscape. The kind of place where people say things like, I don't own a microwave, and mean it. Ugh. A guy with cheekbones you could hang a coat on greets me. He was wearing linen like he was born in it. Welcome to Surrender, Mr. Taylor. he says with a blinding smile. "Let us take your bags." I hand him my suitcase and try to look like I belong, even though I'm already wondering how fast I can fake an emergency and leave. He leads me through a Pinterest-perfect garden into the main building. Wood, glass, and the faint smell of something expensive and non-specific. Inside, it smells like lavender and ocean, which is impressive, since we're nowhere near the coast. I'm guessing candles, pricey ones. Guys are lounging around the fountain in what I can only describe as a luxury cult attire. Matching athleisure, perfect posture, like they've been meditating since sunrise and just remembered they have abs. Then comes him. "Ah, you must be Archie," says the tall guy stepping towards me in an easy, confident smile. "I'm Sebastian, your host. Welcome." He's a lot. Tall, polished. The kind of guy who makes you want to fix your posture. Flowing white shirt, intense green eyes, and the calm energy that makes you feel like you should confess your childhood traumas immediately. "Thanks," I say, shaking his hand. "This place is really something." He chuckles. "It can be overwhelming at first, but give it a few days. Let it work on you." I nod, pretending that doesn't sound like I'm being hypnotized. First day is a blur of soft-lit rooms, perfectly folded towels, and more men than I've seen in one place since Pride. There's a juice bar that only serves things called cleanse, align, or awaken, and every conversation sounds like a therapy podcast. Sebastian is everywhere, floating between groups, offering encouragement, adjusting a pillow here, a diffuser there. Part host, part wellness wizard, and he actually listens. When he asks how you're feeling, it somehow doesn't feel fake. I watch him lead a meditation in the garden on day 2. He speaks in this calm, grounded voice that makes you believe that even for a second, that your heartache might actually melt if you just breathe deep enough. It's disarming. I'm still not totally buying the whole self-love and crystals thing, but I also haven't felt this still in months. That night, I sat alone on the patio, drinking some herbal tea someone swore would help me release resentment. It tastes like hot bark, but the stars are ridiculous. The quiet hum of crickets, the scent of eucalyptus, the sounds of someone somewhere playing a singing bowl. I don't know. It's peaceful, which is weird. I haven't felt peacefulness since him. Sebastian walks by, catches my eye and smiles. "You're settling in." Something like that, I say. He nods like he already knows the rest of the sentence I didn't say. And for the first time since arriving, I think maybe this isn't the worst idea after all. The next day, I'm standing by the juice bar, trying to choke down on my second energy-boosting green goddess. Still tastes like regret and lawn clippings. When I see him, Luca, everything around me blurs. No chanting, no soft ocean sounds, no overpriced eucalyptus wafting through the air. Just him, standing there like a memory I never asked to revisit. He looks the same. No worse, better. That black tank top hugs him like it remembers me, like his arms weren't once wrapped around me in the dark. His hair is a mess, and I know exactly what it feels like after I've dragged my fingers through it. And those green eyes, still impossible, still dangerous. He spots me, freezes. That flicker of recognition, then the half smile that used to undo me without trying. "Archie?" he says low and amused. I blink. "What are you doing here?" "Same as you," he says, walking over too casual. "Trying to find myself." I snort. "That's rich. What did you lose? Your sense of drama?" He raises an eyebrow. "You still mad? You jealous still?" I shot back. "Or did you finally grow out of thinking every guy I laughed at wanted to sleep with me?" His jaw tightened. I didn't imagine the way you flirted with everyone. I wasn't flirting, I snapped. I was being nice. Yeah, well, it felt like I was dating a disco ball, always shining on someone else. I flinched, but covered with a sip of my tragic smoothie. So you bailed. You pushed, he said quietly. You always needed someone looking, even when you had me. The words land heavy. We're suddenly back there, mid-fight, half-packed bags, and me saying things I didn't mean. I didn't want someone jealous of everyone I talked to, I muttered. I wanted someone who trusted me. I wanted someone who didn't make me feel disposable, he says. We fall quiet, the silence thick with too many truths. I hate I still want to reach for him. Hate that even now. I wonder what would have happened if we hadn't both screwed it up. Didn't think I'd see you here, he said softly. Yeah, I say. Me neither. And we just stand there, holding smoothies and everything else we never said. The next day, I'm halfway through a yoga class I didn't sign up for. Some restorative flow situation where we were supposed to breathe through our trauma or whatever. Where Sebastian settles on the mat next to mine. You look like you're trying to astral project out of your own body, he whispers. I snort. I think my hamstrings have achieved enlightenment through suffering. He grins, folding himself into a pose way too graceful for someone who also managing a dozen neurotic gay men on retreat. You're doing better than half the guys here. One pulled groin muscle trying to impress me yesterday. Well, I'll settle for not farting mid-pose. He laughs, really laughs. And it's warm and easy, in a way that makes me forget how tense I've been since Lucas showed up. Sebastian had this vibe, like he's always 5 seconds from teasing you, but only because he already likes you. I'm not used to that. I like it. When the session ends, he walks with me back towards the lounge. I meant what I said, by the way, he says, tilting his head. You're not so shut off as you think. I blink. Was I supposed to be shut off? You walked in like someone dared you to try healing, and you were determined to prove them wrong. I smile, surprised by the softness in my chest. And now? Now you're laughing again. I don't say anything, just glance sideways. And that's when I catch it. Luca, leaning against a column, arms crossed, pretending to be real interested in the juice bar menu. He's not. He's looking at us. And he looks exactly like he used to. Guarded, tight-jawed, sharp eyes with the kind of jealousy he never liked to admit. Great. Here we go again. Later that night. It's 10 past, the retreat gone quiet. No more gongs or breathwork circles. Thank God. And I'm out on the garden path, walking off a dinner that involved quinoa. And the concept of flavor. Sebastian shows up out of nowhere, hoodie on, 2 mugs in hand. Chamomile, he offers. God, yes. If I have to drink one more thing with activated charcoal, I'll combust. We walk. It's easy. The way our shoulders brush sometimes. The way he doesn't push when I go quiet. It's nice. Safe. So, he says, side-eyeing me. You and that guy from the juice bar. History? I sigh. That obvious? You both stared at each other like the room was about to explode. Yeah, that's Luca. I sip my tea. We've got a messy history. Classic breakup, but make it full of unresolved feelings and bad timing. He nods, doesn't pry, just walks beside me. The silence is good, companionable, but when we round the corner near the pool, I stop dead. Luke is there, sitting alone, hoodie pulled up, hands in his lap, but his eyes are on us, and they're not soft, they're tight, jaw clenched, that old stormy look, like he's watching something slip away. I feel it before I think. He thinks something's happening again, just like before. Sebastian doesn't notice. He's saying something about morning meditation, but I'm not listening. I just stare across the lawn, back at Luca. And that look. Yeah, I know it. And I know exactly what he thinks he's seeing. And this time, I don't know if I care enough to correct him. About an hour later, I'm heading back to my room after some mandatory sound bath thing. Still not convinced, lying on a mat, while someone hits a gong near my feet is healing. When I hear voices, sharp ones, tense. They're coming from around the corner by the staff bungalow. I slow down, something in me prickling. It's late, too late for casual chats. Then I hear it. Luca's voice, low, clipped. Not your business, Sebastian. And yet you're making it mine, Sebastian snaps back. I round the corner before I can overthink it. They're standing way too close. Luca's jaw is tight, fist balled, like he's holding something back. Sebastian looks calm, but his eyes are sharp, locked on Luca's, like he's not backing down. It's not a conversation, it's something heavy. They both turn when they hear my footsteps. Luca's face shifts fast, anger gone in a blink, replaced by that cool, blank expression I know too well. Sebastian straightens, smoothing out whatever tension was on his face, like something just flicked a switch. "Everything okay?" I asked, trying to sound casual, but my gut's doing little somersaults. "Yeah," Sebastian says first, too quickly. "Just talking." Luca doesn't say anything, just gives me a look. Unreadable. Then he turns and walks off into the dark without another word. Sebastian watches him go, jaw tight. Then he looks at me with a forced smile. "Weird night, huh?" "Yeah," I say slowly, something like that. He nods and pats my shoulder like it's all fine, like nothing happened. But I'm not buying it, because whatever that was, it wasn't just talking. The next morning, it's been 20 minutes since Sebastian stood barefoot in front of all of us in the meditation room. Eyes wild, like he just chugged 3 mushroom lattes and a betrayal smoothie. "There's poison in this place," he said, voice shaking. "And it's someone in this room." Then, swear to God, he turned, robes swishing like a drama professor at a Burning Man, and stormed out. No shoes, no follow-up. Just slammed the door so aggressive it made someone's singing bowl fall over. We all just sat there. Like maybe this was the next phase of the session. Radical confusion. But 20 minutes is too long, even by let the energy settle standards. So I sneak out, figuring someone should check on the guy. Make sure he didn't wander off into the woods to scream at a tree or something. I head towards his office, which is more like a luxury greenhouse with a salt lamp addiction. The door's ajar. That's not normal. I knock. No answer. "Sebastian!" I call out, already regretting it. I pushed the door open and stood cold. The room was a mess. One of the chairs tipped over. A vase shattered near the window. Crystals are scattered, like someone knocked over a very serene shrine in a not-so-serene rage. And on the rug, right near the desk, there's a smear. A dark, wet streak across the floor. Red. My stomach twists. Please let that be pomegranate juice. Or, I don't know, some artisanal hibiscus blend? But it's not juice. There's more near the base of the desk. And drag marks, like someone tried to clean it, or move something, or someone. The whole room smells too weird, like lavender and copper. And Sebastian? Gone. No sign of him, no phone, no shoes. Just the lingering weight of something bad. I back out slowly, heart pounding. Whatever happened here, it wasn't a spiritual breakthrough. And I hate that the first person I think of is Luca. Flashback ends. A few hours later. People at the retreat are officially freaking out. The breakfast buffet is untouched. That's how you know it's bad. No one's touching the almond croissants or the coconut kefirs. Just a bunch of gay men in silk robes, whispering in the corners like we're some kind of boutique cult mystery. Sebastian's been gone for hours. No sign of him since his whole "there's a poison in this place" meltdown. Some people think it was a performance art. Others think it was a mental breakdown. A few believe it was a marketing stunt. I think he's dead. I also think I'm the only one taking this seriously. So yeah, I do what any burnt-out, paranoid novelist with an anxiety disorder would do. I start poking around where I'm definitely not allowed. I bribe a staff guy named Jonah with a protein bar and a compliment about his eyebrows. He lets me into the staff hallway, which is hidden behind a wall of fake ivy, like an entrance to a gay Narnia. The air shifts instantly. No candles, no flute music. Just beige walls, buzzing fluorescent, and the smell of printer toner. A tiny security room sits at the end. One screen, one folding chair, and a guy who looks like he's about to quit. Matt. I lean against the desk like I belong here. Hey, so cameras in the lounge and the courtyard, right? Matt blinks. Yeah? Cool. So if someone, say, stormed out dramatically and never came back, you would have that on file? His throat bobs. There was a glitch. We lost the footage. Really? He nods, sweating. I glance at the monitor. All the timestamps are current. No power outage, no glitch. Just one folder. This morning's gone. I step back slowly. Hate to say it, but that sounds like sabotage. Matt looks like he's about to faint. I leave before he cries and calls his manager. As I step outside, I spot Luca doing Tai Chi near the koi pond. His form's perfect, his face calm. My heart is neither. I walked over, casually. Weird morning, huh? He opens one eye. Bit of a vibe killer. Missing person's kind of a big deal. He stretches. Sebastian probably needed a dramatic exit. He'll show up. Unless someone didn't want him to. He blinks at me. You think this is foul play? I think someone deleted the security footage. And I think you're acting awfully chill about all this. He shrugs, but something tightens in his jaw. And the thing is, 3 years ago, Luca and I blew up over jealousy. I was talking to another guy, just talking, and Luca lost it, accused me of leading people on, of needing attention. The fight was ugly. Not just with me, but the guy too. So now, watching him stay too calm while Sebastian's missing, yeah, I can't help but wonder if Luke is pulling the same stunt again. About an hour later, there's a spa building on the far end of the property. Supposedly closed for renovation, except it's not under construction, it's just locked. I found it only because I saw the staff member walking that way with a tray of food. And come on, who delivers snacks to an empty building? I try the door. Locked. Then I knock. Nothing. I circle around the back. A window is slightly cracked. I hear something, like music, low and muffled, and someone talking, a man's voice. It's clear, but I swear I heard the word confess. My skin prickles. I step back just as someone rounds the corner. It's Luca. What are you doing here? He asks way too calm. I fold my arms. Could ask you the same thing. I was just walking. Around a locked building that might be holding our missing host hostage. He exhales sharply. Jesus, Archie! Do you think I had something to do with this? You tell me. There's a pause. One of those thick, heavy ones. You still don't trust me, he says quietly. No! I say too fast. Not after last time. And there it is again. The ghost of that weekend he disappeared on me. The apology that came too late. The way I sat on the kitchen floor with a half-written manuscript and a half-broken heart. Luca steps closer. I didn't lie to you back then. I just couldn't handle it. The jealousy. The way you flirted with everyone. Flirted? You think that's what was going on? He hesitated, then looked away, biting the back of whatever he was going to say. You always draw attention without even trying, and I couldn't stand it. I shake my head, frustration bubbling. That's on you, Luca, not me. He's quiet for a moment. I know, but I couldn't handle it. You deserve someone better than someone who couldn't trust you. I stare at him. Sounds like basic decency. He looks away again, guilt washing over his face. I want to scream at him, shake him, but instead I do nothing. Later that evening, I find Luca by the fire pit, staring into the flame like they've got answers. The air between us feels tight. I sat beside him. Remember that weekend in Portland? The bookstore. You found that out-of-print poetry collection. He smiles faintly. I had to beg the guy to sell it. You didn't beg. You flirted. He chuckled, but it was hollow. Same thing. For a beat, it almost felt easy. Almost. Then I ask, why did you lie to me earlier? His body tenses. I didn't. You knew the spa was locked before I did. You were there first. His jaw tightens. He looks away. I didn't want you thinking I was hiding something. Well, now I do. Guilt flickers in his eyes, but he stays silent. And the worst part? I want him to be innocent. I want this to be nothing. But if it's not, it'll break me again. The next day, it starts with a noise. Middle of the night, I can't sleep. Too many questions bouncing around my brain like caffeine soaked in hamsters. So I go for a walk. That's when I hear a cough, muffled, coming from behind the main lodge. Near the maintenance shed. No guests are supposed to enter. So obviously, I go in. It smells like incense and dust. There's a cot, a thermos, a robe. Sebastian's, nearly folded in the corner. And there he is, alive! Sitting at the desk, typing something on the laptop, like he's on a deadline. I freeze. You've got to be kidding me. He jumps. Archie! Shit! You're alive? Yes. You're in a shed. Technically, it's a staff wellness annex. You faked your death. Before he could answer, the doors creaked again, and Lucas steps in behind me. He takes one look at Sebastian and lets out a stunned, "Oh, wow." We all stand there, the weight of the situation sinking in. I break first. What is this? Some kind of twisted escape room? You vanish in a puff of sandalwood. And expect what? Group tears? Closure? Sebastian sighs, pressing his palms together like he was praying I won't sue him. Okay, listen. No, you listen, I snap. People were crying. One guy tried to burn a letter to his dad. I thought I was going to solve an actual murder in between Rikiki appointments. And you've just been here. He exhaled through his nose, like he's trying to find the right words. I never meant for you to find out like this. Oh, we're back on that line. Lucas steps forward, his voice suddenly quiet. Why, Sebastian? There's a beat. Sebastian doesn't meet either of our eyes. I did it because Luca asked for help. He says, almost apologetically. My stomach twists. He asked you to fake your death. Sebastian nods. He didn't say it outright. That was me. He just wanted a chance to be close to you. And, well, I thought of a dramatic flair. Thought if I made things urgent, mysterious, dramatic, you'd finally see each other. See yourselves. Luca looks like he's about to say something, but stops himself. I look back at Sebastian, disbelief building in my chest. You're telling me this was a part of some grand emotional scheme? Some wellness retreat reality show designed to what? Get me and Luca to open up our shit? Sebastian winces. I didn't think it would get this far. You thought we'd bond over your fake murder? That this would be the thing that would bring us together? Luca finally speaks, his voice tight. I didn't mean for it to get out of hand. I thought if you were desperate enough, and I helped you, you'd finally see me, see us. And I hate it. But I feel cracked open, just not the way Sebastian meant. In the way that feels like betrayal. The next morning, I tried to leave. Suitcase packed, rage-fueled email to my therapist drafted, called A Car to Come Get Me. Except no signal, no Wi-Fi, no car. Reception says the shuttle won't be back until the weekend. Because of course it won't. So, you're telling me I have to stay here? I say, glaring at her across the eucalyptus-scented counter. She smiles. We encourage our guests to surrender to the moment. I'm going to surrender you to HR. So, now I'm here, back on the drama yoga desk, sitting cross-legged across Luca, while the man with the nose ring and an aura of smug tells us, gaze into each other's heart space. I gaze into the void instead. Luca shifts. He's way too close. Everything smells like sage and tension. You're still mad? He says quietly. I'm trapped in a wellness prison, run by a drama queen who faked his own death to fix my relationship. What gave it away? I didn't know. Not all of it. You knew enough. He exhales. I didn't want to hurt you. You did anyway. The instructor walks past and gently adjusts my spine, as if my posture is the issue here. I stay silent. So does Luca, but I feel his eyes on me the whole time. Eventually he whispers, You're not the only one who got broken. I pretended I don't hear it. Because if I acknowledge it, I might not stay mad. And right now, mad is the only thing keeping me upright. A few hours later, we're back in the circle. Everyone looks delighted, glowing with post-drama catharsis. I look like I want to chew drywall. I feel like I was manipulated. I said flatly, like I signed up for facials and smoothies and ended up in a poorly scripted emotional sting operation. I think his name is Brian, and I want to throw a kombucha bottle at him. Luca shifts beside me. He's right. It was manipulative. I planted the idea, but I didn't know Sebastian would go that far. I should have shut it down. I should have told you. You always should have told me, I muttered. The silence. I expect him to deflect, to retreat, but instead he leans forward, eyes steady. I used to think that if I avoided the hard conversations, I couldn't get hurt, but all I did was make me the guy who disappeared. The guy who hides behind other people's chaos so I don't have to face my own. His voice broke a little. I was scared, so I tried to force a shortcut to fixing us. And I see now, that wasn't love, that was fear dressed up as a plan. Someone across the circle clutched a crystal to his heart. Beautiful accountability. I sigh. It's not beautiful. It's just sad. It's kind of infuriating. But it's also real. Lucas says softer now. It may be the first honest thing I've given you in a long time. I don't say anything, because a part of me still wants to scream. But the other part, the one that's still stubbornly in love, maybe that part doesn't want to burn it all down. Not yet. Later that day, I thought the mushroom tea ceremony was a joke. I mean, the whole retreat feels like one overpriced joke. But now here I am, half a cup of fermented fungi in my system, feeling like the universe is laughing at me. The tea tastes like wet earth, which is exactly how I feel. like I've been buried under a pile of crap for way too long. I sit down with Luca, who for some reason keeps glancing at me like we're both on the verge of something. Something big, something messy. I try to ignore it, mostly. After about 5 minutes, I start seeing trails of light around the candles, and everything's too bright. Are you okay? Luca asks. Fine. Totally fine. I say, but my voice sounds off, like it's coming from a distance. The retreat leader, who apparently a self-proclaimed shaman, starts chanting, and suddenly it feels like the entire room is closing in on me. The air is thick, heavy, like something's been building all week. Then it happens. I can't breathe, not because of the tea, but because of the thing I've been avoiding for so long crashes into me. It's all so clear now. Why I ran. Why I pushed Luca away. I closed my eyes, trying to stop the panic bubbling in my chest. I ended things because I was scared. Barely a whisper. Scared of being vulnerable. Of getting hurt. Luca's hand hovered over mine, then lands gently. I don't pull away. I thought if I shut you out, I wouldn't feel the weight of us. He's quiet for a second. Then he speaks. Voice low and raw. I never thought I'd be good enough for you. My eyes open. He's staring straight ahead, like he can't bear to look at me. You were so brilliant, so certain. Even when you doubt yourself, you still moved. You created. You pushed forward in me. He shakes his head. I always felt like the guy who settled for the one who couldn't catch up. I swallowed hard. So yeah, when I saw how close you were with the others, I hated it. He continued. I was jealous. I thought they were everything I wasn't. Charismatic, fearless, charming as hell. Luca, I sabotaged us, he says, because I didn't believe I was worth being chosen. There's a long, arcing pause, and for the first time since we ended, I really looked at him. I don't see the guy who walked away. I see the guy who never believed he was allowed to stay. And it hits me. I still love him, even when he didn't know how to love himself. Maybe especially then. A few hours later, the garden is quiet when I find him, Sebastian, sitting like he didn't fake his own death and throw all of us into chaos. I cross my arms. You staged your own murder. He sighs, looking up at me. Yeah, and I'm sorry. That was way too far. I got caught up in the drama of it all. Luca steps beside me, arms tense. You think? I responded. Sebastian nods. I wanted to help, but I let it become a performance. That's on me. But he pauses, looking between us. The reason I did it wasn't just to stir the pot. It's because I've never seen someone love another person the way Luca loves you. Luca shifts, caught off guard. Yeah, but you love him too, Sebastian says, softer now. I know you do, but you've both been wearing armor for so long. Neither of you knows how to let it down. I glance at Luca. He's looking right at the ground, jaw tight. Sebastian continues. So yeah, I created a ridiculous scenario. But I thought, if you believed time was short, maybe you'd say what you were too scared to say. Maybe you'd stop hiding. He stands, hands up in surrender. You don't have to forgive me. Hell, I wouldn't. But don't throw this away, just because I made a mess of things. You two have something rare, flawed, messy, real, and if you walk away from it now, you'll regret it. He gives us one last look, and then turns and walks off. In silence, Lucas says, You want to talk about it? I nod. Yeah, I think it's about time we do. A little while later, the rain slows, just whispers on the leaves, soft enough to ignore. But I don't. I feel every drop, like it's trying to get my attention. We're still in the garden, just the two of us. The retreat's over, the guests gone, the illusion shattered. All that was left is what's real. And us. Lucas stands behind me, shoulders hunched slightly. his hair starting to stick to his forehead. He glances up, then back at me. It's like the universe can't help itself, he says, voice low. One last dramatic touch. I have to laugh. Like we needed more drama. He gives me a crooked half smile, but his eyes are tired, honest in the way they never used to be. We stand there for a while, silent, the rain growing bolder. I should say something, but everything feels too fragile, like the moment might break if I move wrong. Then he speaks quietly. We broke up because we were scared, didn't we? I glanced at him. I was scared of needing you too much, of being seen. Luca nods, rain slipping down his cheek. I was scared I wasn't enough, that you'd wake up one day, realize you could do better. My chest tightened. I never needed better. I needed honest. I needed you. And I think I pushed you away because I didn't know how to ask for it. He exhales. I kept thinking if I stay cool, kept it casual, I wouldn't get hurt. But I was already hurting. I just didn't want to admit it. The rain picks up, but neither of us moves. I thought I had to earn your love, he adds, almost to himself. Like, be perfect or disappear. I saw how easily people wanted you, how bright you were. I got jealous. Small. I stepped closer, heart pounding. I was terrified of how much I wanted you, and how much it would hurt if you didn't stay. Luca's eyes met mine, but I wanted to stay. I didn't know how. He says like a confession, like it's the first time he said it out loud. And I realize we've both been waiting for this moment, soaked and shivering and raw. No performances left, just the wreckage and the chance to rebuild. I'm sorry, I whispered, voice cracking. For shutting you out. I'm sorry too, he says. For running. I reached out, brushing the wet hair from his face. He closes his eyes at the touch. I don't want to be scared anymore, I say. His hand finds mine. Warm, steady. Then let's stop being scared. I kiss him. It's slow at first, tentative, like we've been testing the shape of something we once knew. But then it deepens. Real. Rain pouring around us, soaking our clothes, our skin. But none of it matters. This matters. When we finally pull apart, breathless, Luca's smiling. You know, I say, laughing through the rain, this is the worst place to make out. He grins. Then it's perfect for us. I rest my forehead against his, and for the first time in a long time, I feel whole. We're not broken. Not anymore. A few months later, it's Sunday morning, and Luke is in my kitchen, wearing my hoodie, and burning my toast. I watch him from the couch, legs tucked under me, coffee in hand as he squints at the toaster, like it personally wronged him. The smell of slightly charred sourdough fills the apartment, and honestly, I've never felt more at home. Did the retreat teach you nothing about mindfulness? I call out. He flips me off without looking. I'm practicing radical acceptance of my flaws, like not knowing how to work this satanic toaster. I grin and take a sip of my coffee. We should have asked Sebastian to add cooking for basic gay men to the itinerary. Luca turns around smirking. You mean right after fake murders and emotional entrapment 101? We both burst out laughing. It feels surreal sometimes. The whole week, the robes, the crystals, the blood-stained notes, the mushroom tea. But now we're here, in my tiny apartment, surrounded by books and mismatched mugs and sunlight pouring in through the windows. We haven't figured everything out. We still fight sometimes about dumb stuff, like who finished the oat milk, or why I keep putting records in the wrong sleeves. But it's real. It's good. He brings over 2 plates, one with the burnt toast, one with the marginally less burnt toast, and sits beside me. Breakfast is served, he says, placing a sad offering of coffee on the table. I bumped his shoulder. We're thriving. He leans in, pressing a kiss to my temple. Hey, we made it through a fake murder, and group yoga. This is nothing. I smile, leaning into him. Yeah, I guess we're kinda great. And for the first time in a long time, I believe it. The end. Do you believe in second chances? Thank you for watching. Consider subscribing to become a part of our Rainbow Force. And stay wholesome.